Let's have a look at our color guessing game. This game uses a lot of the things we've looked at, including variables, arrays, making decisions, loops, and also functions, all working together to make a game. Here we'll demonstrate the game using Chrome on a Mac, but there's any browser you could use, and of course PC is the same as well. So let's run through the game and demonstrate our solution. You can see the messages. I am thinking of one of these colors. And then there's a list of colors. Now it is helpful if those colors are listed in alphabetical order. That is helpful for the player of the game. However, if you want to make it a harder game, then you don't have to show it alphabetical order, but that is a little bit unfriendly. I recommend alphabetical order, and you can always use one line of JavaScript code to order the names of the colors in alphabetical order. Anyway, let's play the game. What color am I thinking of? So let's try a color like cyan, and we press enter and it gives us some feedback. Sorry, your guess is not correct. Your color is alphabetically lower than mine. Please try again. Alright, that is useful feedback. So now let's try a color which is alphabetically higher. Let's try magenta. That is higher. And so magenta, press enter, and more feedback. You are wrong. Your color is alphabetically lower than mine. Okay, so words lower than your color magenta is lower than the actual answer, so it must be orange, red, white, or yellow. Now, let's try a color which is actually not in that list, such as purple. That is a normal color, of course. However, it's not in our list of colors. So let's try that. And we get this message: sorry, I don't recognize your color. Please try again. Alright, so that's what happens if you enter a color which is not in the list. In fact, if you enter anything, any English at all, and it's not one of those color listed in the array, that is the message you'll get. Okay, let's carry on. Let's do a better choice. Let's try red. We're still playing our game. Red, your color is alphabetically higher than mine. Now it says higher. Alright, so the solution color must be lower than red in the alphabetical order. Really, it looks like it has to be orange. It really has to be orange from all the feedback we've had. So we press orange, enter orange. Boom, you can see orange is being used in the web page background, and also there's a nice message: congratulations, you've guessed the color. It took you, and it shows you how many times you entered something. In this case, it took you 5 guesses to finish the game. So that's a nice friendly message. So we've played the entire game. Alright, now that's an example of going through the whole game. Now, one suggestion I have is when you develop your game, you do this. You show the answer at the start. This case, we have the answer, the color is green. Now, that is very helpful. You hide that window and then you play the game and you already know the answer, so you can check that the behavior is exactly what it should be. You can do something alphabetically lower, alphabetically higher, you can do incorrect color, all of these things, because you already know the answer. Very, very useful for testing. And now let's just check the actual answer works. So let's type in the answer. Boom, the answer was green, and yes, the end of game behaves correctly. Alright, that's a useful piece of advice there, suggestion. And finally, let's have a quick discussion of HTML colors. And so there are many HTML colors. We're using HTML colors in this game. You can go on the internet, you can find a list of colors like this, and if you want, you could use many of these colors in your game. And it looks quite interesting. There's lots of color names. The only problem with doing this is the person marking your project has to spend a lot longer to play your game. Actually, it's not a lot longer, but it might be perhaps a minute longer, or maybe 40 seconds longer, or something like that. So it might be a bit more friendly to have less colors than what you can see on the screen right now. And so, for example, a good solution would be perhaps to have 15 colors or maybe 12 colors or something like that. Anyway, it will certainly work fine if you have lots of colors. And just to demonstrate it, let's type in a color, indigo, and it checks and it says, okay, your color is alphabetically lower than mine. All right, lower, so you must choose something higher alphabetically, like yellow, and so on, and the whole game is the same as before. So that's an illustration of lots of colors that you could use for your project, but we don't recommend it. It'll be too much trouble for the person playing your game. So that's the end of our discussion of our color guessing game.